I'm going to show you guys how to make a reusable produce bag. So to make this pattern, you're going to need some voile, I believe that's how it's said, 34 inches long and 13 inches across, and then we're going to press that in half so that it is 17 inches by 13 inches. We're also going to need 2 ribbons, one thicker one and one thinner one. Mine are 5/8 of an inch and 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so now with our fabric pressed in half, we are going to sew along the sides, creating a curve at the bottom and then coming up the side and curving up. I don't measure, so we're gonna leave about 1/4 of an inch off of the top and start sewing there. And then we're going to just line up our fabric with the presser foot the entire time. I'm just going to cut off these little corners on both sides. So now we're going to do what's called a French seam by turning our bags out. And we're going to press. You can either press, I don't usually, but press along this seam. But essentially we're going to then sew along this seam as well. Still leaving out that 1/4 inch, I'm now lining up my fabric with the inside of my presser foot right there. And I'm just going to do that all the way around. This is what it should look like all the way around. So now I'm just going to fold over that little lip and press. Now I cut out 28 inches of our thicker fabric. We're just going to fold over and press about 1/2 inch, 1/4 of an inch maybe. I lined up the fold of the ribbon with the seam of the bag, and we're going to sew around as close to this line and as close to this line as we can possible. Before you get to the end, you want to fold it in and sew over. So we just created a tube for our thinner ribbon to go through, and it also encased all of our raw edges. So I'm just going to go through with some scissors and clean up all these little frilly. So I put a safety pin on the tip of my ribbon, and now I'm just going to feed it through that tube we just created. So now I just tied the ends in 2 knots, and you've got your